It's your daily dose of Donna. It's your Friday edition, Friday, May 9th. How is everyone doing today? I am so happy to spend my Friday with you guys. We have had a very, very chaotic morning here in the Bowling household. All is good, but my schedule has been crazy. Murphy is hanging out with me. My dog wants to hang out. My dog wants to hear all about the cringy text messages we had to listen to this morning on the Karen retrial. I mean, oh my God. OMG. We have so much to talk about. We're going to have fun today. We're just going to let loose. We're going to talk a little bit about Karen Reed. We're going to talk about some Bravo news, some Summer House, big announcement, and what I think it is. We're going to guess on what we think it is. Some RHONY news that some of you may like and some of you may not. And then, of course, the Blake Lively update and how we're going to buy tickets to the live stream event of the summer move over. Katy Perry, Beyonce, Eras tour. What? We're buying tickets to the Blake Lively show. All of that and more on today's special Friday episode of Get Your Sprinklers Out Daily Dose of Murphy and Donna. Oh my goodness. I am glad to take a little break from watching that trial today. Literally, this morning, watching that trial was the human equivalent of wanting to sink into a hole and just like hide. I was dying. I know. I was dying. We were all dying together, Murphy. I know. It was, trust me, it was wild. It was too much for my heart. It was too much for my head. I will let you guys watch some of it with me. If you're thinking you're having a little bit of an uncomfortable morning, just remember that Karen Reed has to sit in that courtroom. And so does Brian Higgins somewhere. I don't know where he is watching this. He's not in the courtroom, but he's watching it somewhere. Well, if he was smart, he'd be turning off every single screen in his house. He would be turning off Wi-Fi. He would be turning off every single, he would be turning off the power in the town that he lives in. I don't think he lives in Canton anymore. I would move out of Canton. I would move to another country. And then I would become I would live off the land if I were Brian Higgins, because man, that guy does not have game. I think Brian Higgins will be single for the rest of his life. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, don't worry. I'll let you know. Don't you worry. Oh, God. I have a lot of thoughts about it. But there's other stories to talk about. I want to hear about you guys. Tell me about you. I asked TikTok last night before I went to bed. I was doing some editing and I asked TikTok, I was like, tell me what else I should obsess over right now. Obviously, I've got Blake Lively on the periphery, but I don't want to go over every little motion to dismiss every 5 seconds. I'm not into that. Once it goes to trial, I will definitely cover the legal side and cover every second of it. But I can't do all the little motions to dismiss every 5 seconds. I will cover all the pop culture version of it, like when the lawyers talk to TMZ and stuff. Yes, I will talk all about it. But I will not talk about it. I won't talk about obsessive stuff every second, every time Stephanie Jones, sends a letter to Judge Lyman. However, Karen Reed, I am deep diving that, but that's going to end at some point soon. So what's next? Everyone tells me Sandra Birchmore, that case is really interesting, is same cops as Canton. Now I'm curious about you guys, what you think I need to be into. Enrique gave me an idea here. Donna, I tagged you on a post about Colin Firth and his wife's alleged stalker, who was actually her lover and is now her partner. You need to deep dive this. Wait, so is he not married to the wife anymore? Clearly not. Because she now has a partner who was her stalker before, but now I guess the stalking worked. Who knew? Start out as stalker and now start out as the stalker and now you become the lover. Stalking sometimes works. Don't take that seriously, y'all. Don't stop. Okay, ex-wife's alleged stalker who is actually the lover now. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to work on that. That could be a good story. I love it. It's very, very interesting to cover all of these deep dives. I love a good deep dive. Love it. Now, last night I was down a little bit of a scroll hole about this summer house. Number one, can we just talk for 5 minutes about what the hell is going on Bravo? So yesterday they announced, okay, I know, you're my stalker. Murphy's stalking me. You're not going to become my lover, Brian Higgins. Okay, Brian, sit down. Sit down, Brian Higgins. Thank you. Not into you. Let's talk for a second before we get into the Blake Lively story and Karen Reed. Dude, go lay down. Go lay down. Let's talk for a little bit about the summer house weirdness and Bravo in general. As you know, my feelings are just like running amok over there. Yesterday, I told you that 2 days ago, I told you that they released that they're picking up all these new shows, Rhode Island and Ladies of London, and then they're doing like the Valley, Persian style, et cetera, et cetera. Do you guys want me to do my Persian accent again? Is that what you guys are asking for? Okay. And then they talked about RHONY, and it just came out just like 20 minutes ago that they're officially saying that RHONY is a no-go. We kind of assumed that when it wasn't on their list of shows that they're bringing back. But RHONY is a no-go. It's kind of a donezo thing. It's done. Now, am I sad about this? And not even in the least. I did think that they were going to put Lindsay Hubbard from Summer House on RHONY. I thought that was like a done thing. It was going to happen. However, it's not going to happen. But maybe they're still in casting. Maybe they're still trying to figure it out. I'm just glad. Can we just all thank the heavens that we don't have to see Brynn Whitfield on our TVs anymore? I can't ever imagine watching her. And I hope she seriously goes away. Like the podcast that she has, there is no way that Brynn Whitfield gets more listens than Daily Dose of Donna. And I will bet you right now that I get more listens than Brynn Whitfield on my podcast. I cannot imagine that Brynn Whitfield on a general podcast episode, like where she didn't have Jesse Solomon, for example. I can't imagine that Brynn Whitfield does better on her podcast than Daily Dose of Donna in general. Let's see. Does she even have? Please see below with Brynn Whitfield. Oh. You guys, I just guessed it, but now we're challenged, and let's look at it together. Please see below by Brynn Whitfield. She has 496 subscribers. Look, I'm not going to be one to talk shite about someone on YouTube because I'm so glad for her that she actually does have subscribers. I mean, good for her. And she's got great branding. I actually really like her logo. I like her font. But 496 subscribers as a cast member of 2 seasons of one of the best franchises on Bravo. 496 subscribers. That's not good, y'all. That's not good. On an episode 2 days ago, she had this episode of 344 views. Just to give you an idea, and this is sponsored by Amazon. She has Amazon sponsoring her show. Just to give you an idea, yesterday's podcast has over 10,000 views of Daily Dose of Donna. So, yeah, Brynn, come on, Brynny. Now, speaking of my show, let's do a little push for Daily Dose of Donna right now. Speaking of, Daily Dose of Donna is having a little bit of a dip in live viewers right now. And it's probably because I'm not doing my normal hour, because I'm an hour behind my normal hour. So let's all do a favor right now, okay? Right now, as you guys are watching, because I know who's watching right now, it's like the diehard dosers, it's the DHDers, okay? Like the video. I want to see who's going to like the video right now. How many likes do I have? Whoever's watching right now live, like the video. How many likes right now do I have? And we're going to watch live to see how many likes I can get. Like the video right now. Make sure you're subscribing. It's Friday. Make sure you're subscribing. I only have 41 likes. Jamie, 41 likes? That's pathetic. That's younger than I am. That's younger than I am. Joe is actually at a live, and Joe is a real life friend of mine. Our kids go to school together. Okay. I only have 41 likes. Dude. We need to work on this. I'm just going to sit here until I get to 100 likes. I'm just going to sit and I'll just do weights. I'll just take, I'm at 106 now. Okay. I'll just keep on going until, Murphy, do I need to let you out? See, when Murphy acts like this, I know Chloe the dog would be a little bit more. Look at Murphy. 124. Okay, I'm ready to start the show. Okay, so Brynn Whitfield is no longer on Real Housewives of New York, and she, I think, single-handedly brought that show down to its demise. I'm sorry. I think she's horrendous. Murphy doesn't actually need something. Murphy's just very, very needy. Murphy's a needy, anxious dog because he's growing up in my house. I'm petting him with always speak. Okay, let's keep going and talk about the other Bravo news. So apparently Jesse Solomon was on Instagram or on Amazon Live and said there's a big announcement at the Summer House reunion. And all of the people are talking. And I actually got a phone call yesterday from my friend Kate Casey. A lot of you guys know Kate Casey. And she said, Donna, there's a rumor that Amanda Batula is pregnant. Do you think that that's true? And I said, I'm going to say something that's not very nice because we should all celebrate babies. We should all be happy for babies. But I hope Amanda Batula, I don't know if this is a good thing if she and Kyle have a baby together. That doesn't make me feel like I worry for Amanda Batula. You guys, would you be happy for, I'm happy for babies. Obviously I'm happy for pregnancies. I want people to have children. How would you honestly feel if Amanda Batula and Kyle Cook were having a baby? Would this be like, yay, that's amazing. What a great thing for you guys. Kyle will be the best father ever. Yeah. Or would you say, uh-oh, spaghetti-o? I worry. Now, what else could be a big announcement that Summer House says? I'll show you the video where Jesse Solomon is actually saying it. He's saying it which is funny that he's doing Amazon Lives. Jesse Solomon has gone very quickly on Summer House from being the most amazing, likable, wonderful person on Summer House, sweet with this, what would Jesse Solomon do, to unlikable, really not enjoyable person on that show. I really dislike Jesse Solomon. I find him obnoxious. I find him like a not good guy. So let's watch. This is him talking about it.
I would say there was a big announcement that we were all very surprised by, but can't tell you what.
Thanks, Jesse.
And yeah, the girls on our show are just seasoned reunion queens. So I was definitely I'm not an anxious guy, but I think a little nervous going into this one, just considering the circumstances. So I'm really happy it's over. I got a decent amount off my chest and I'm feeling good. I would.
So we'll see what happens there. Now, Real Housewives of Miami just released a trailer, and Andy Cohen said when he released the trailer, he said, oh, just wait, because the trailer was kind of a dud. In fact, the trailer was kind of boring that it took me 4 days to actually finish the trailer. And I think Andy Cohen recognized that not a lot of people were talking about the trailer because it was that bad. And he was like, oh, the season is so good. The season is so good. And don't fall for Andy Cohen's bullshit. Because just remember that Andy Cohen said, Real Housewives of New York is so good. Just wait. It's so good. He always does this shit. He always says how good it is. He also has said that Real Housewives of Atlanta is so good. And I don't see anyone talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta being so good right now. I know I'm not watching it, but I know so many people are saying it ain't that good. Do you guys think that Real Housewives of Atlanta is that good? Thanks, Tony. My glasses are World Market. Everything's World Market, sponsored by World Market. So I think Andy Cohen is like resorting to lying. He's become the new town liar because he has to lie to tell us to watch all of the shows because none of the shows are doing it. Andy is no longer the owner or like the CEO or head production guy at Bravo, but he is a executive producer of all the Real Housewives. So he kind of does have to get us to all watch. All right, let's move on and start talking about all the news, but I do want to remind you all, so many of you guys have purchased When People Leave by Leslie Rasmussen, and I want to remind you, I am on chapter like 11 or 12. I am very into this book. I put the link in my show notes. This is such a fantastic book. I have to be honest, I am not someone that is easy to get into books. Books are hard for me because I am ADHD and I get into scrolling. I want to scroll. So getting a hardcover book or like a paperback is easier for me, or a Kindle. I can't read on my phone. I can do audiobook or a hardcover, but I need to put my phone away. This book is really phenomenal. I'm only obviously not even halfway in, but I am really into the characters and I'm really into like the story already. So I want you guys to all, if you can, through your Kindle or through your if you like a paperback, purchase this book by my friend Leslie Rasmussen. It's called When People Leave, A Story of Love, Lies, and Finding the Truth. It's the #1 new release in Jewish literature. And it's not a Jewish book, but it just happens to be that the characters are Jewish, but it's not about Judaism. So don't like take that like, oh my God, is it a Jewish book? It's not. They just happen to be Jewish, but it's about a mother and her 3 daughters. She lives here in Studio City, the mother. So, and also Leslie lives here in the Valley. It's an amazing story about relationships and about families and about secrets. And it's a wonderful book. I put the link below. Please support Leslie and buy that book. All right, let's get into the stories now. Blake Lively is set to testify. I talked about it yesterday during the show with Elsie and Bohemian Diva. And obviously, we're so excited about that. We know she has to. It's a civil case. Obviously, she has to testify. Multiple people are supposed to testify as well during this trial. And I'm looking forward to seeing every single second of that. However, the one thing about it is that we are not going to be able to see that, obviously, because unfortunately, she did this intentionally by filing in New York, and we are not going to be able to see the trial. Now, the problem with this is we deserve more. And I'm not going to settle for less than front row seats to this, but I also have a life, a career, show, and kids. I have a husband and 2 kids, you know? So I need to make sure that we get front row seats. And it's not just going to be Blake that's testifying. Allegedly, all these other people are going to be testifying too. We should see Ryan Reynolds testify. We should see Taylor Swift testify. Why shouldn't we see all of Sony testify? All these other people that are, I mean, the Fantastic Four here. These are the, what's the word for the Avengers, but like the negative version of Avengers? What's like the bad Avengers? The evil Avengers. Give me a bad word for Avengers. Like the violent vixens, the evil Knievels, the flawed foursome, the fiery, the Revengers. But Revengers sounds good. I want it to sound like the smelly society, the perineum posse. The perineum posse. And now we got bad blood. Perineum posse. The gaslighting gang. The perineum posse or the gaslighting gang. Vote in the comments. Or is it PP or GG? PP or GG? You guys give it to me. PP or GG? I like it, the PPs. PPs are good, right? When we can switch it up, we can call it the perineum posse or the, you know how everything is BB with her? Betty Buzz, Betty Booze, Betty Bay. The PPs. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, so the PPs should be all on the stand, and they should all go on the stand together, and they should walk slow motion because everything's like a music video for them. And Ryan Reynolds can like slowly put his hand on Hugh Jackman's tush and then squeeze it. Come on, Hugh. Let's show him what we got. Oh my God, I see it all. I see it right now. And Blake will be like she'll bring like a fan to the set of the court. I'm going to write her case. I decided this. If we can't actually watch the actual, court case, Elsie, myself, Zach Peter, if he's not going to be there, and we'll have to find like a good fourth, are going to play the characters. We're going to get the testimony every day, the transcript, and we're going to sit there and we're going to read it all out loud. We're going to do it in character, of course. We're going to do like live theater on a daily basis. We'll live stream and we'll read it in character. I don't see another way to do this. We'll have to make a set. I mean, I will be willing to, I'll go all in. I'll do method acting. I'll even hire Don Saladino, the trainer. I'll go all in on this one. I'll work. I'll buy her clothes, the poverty clothes. Remember that company that she was really into that was all the plantation core clothes, all the clothes from the plantation? I will buy all of those clothes, all the jeans with the flowers on the back. Oh, Nick Viall. Nick Viall will definitely play someone, but he will only play Ryan. Nick Viall he's offer only, and he only plays Ryan Reynolds. Nick Viall has been working his entire life for this. Nick Viall secretly hopes that he gets asked to be his stunt double. Nick Viall is begging to be like able to testify on behalf of Ryan Reynolds. Be like, Ryan didn't do it. I swear. Ryan is a good man. Oh yeah, Lauren from Court of Random Opinion has to be someone. She can be Hugh Jackman. For sure, Lauren from Court of Random Opinion will be like, this is the greatest show. It will be such a good show. We'll go on tour. Like forget Zach activated the tour that we're going on. We're going on tour as the PPs. We're going on tour as the perineum posse. And we're going to sell out freaking stadiums. This is no longer real life. This is an SNL. This is theater. It's theater. Okay, so back to I love how I got a comment yesterday saying, Donna, you are losing all credibility as a journalist. You were losing credibility as a journalist. And I said, under what planet did I call myself a journalist? Because I wear glasses from World Market? You guys think I'm a journalist? Please. Remember, I'm just a bot. No journalism here. So the PPs are going to hopefully all be testifying. This is a case about what happened to Blake Lively. It sounds like we're doing the beginning of Real World. This is a story about what happens when Blake Lively gets on a set, meets a young, handsome man, sends him texts about yummy and never with teeth, and he doesn't reciprocate. This is the real world. He says, this is a case about what happened to Blake Lively when she raised claims. It's not a case about how songs were chosen for the movie. It's not a case about fictional Marvel characters in Deadpool movies. You have to ask the question then, why are these people being subpoenaed? Do they have any actual relevance to the case at hand? You can't just go around subpoenaing people because they're famous and you think it will generate a bunch of headlines. And the federal courts don't tolerate that kind of behavior. Oh, yeah, you're right. They don't, Mike Gottlieb. They don't tolerate that kind of behavior. So maybe you shouldn't have subpoenaed Stephanie Jones in a fake lawsuit. I wanted to say Shazam, but Van Zandt, buddy. I love how it's just like, you shouldn't have done whatever Brian Friedman and his team is doing is totally not okay, but what we're doing is very legit. I already despise Mike Gottlieb. I don't even know him, but I despise him. It's giving Karen Reed's prosecution. Muse Studio says Persian subscriber here. And when I first looked, I thought you said Patreon subscriber. I was like, oh my God, Patreon. But now I see Persian and it even makes me happier. I love my Persians. Hello. We are going to celebrate Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom. Okay, so they are mad that they're going to be subpoenaed. What did they expect? Blake Lively is the one that brought Taylor Swift into this. You guys have to remember who started this. Blake started this. Blake started the fight. Justin's just returning the argument. This is giving a lot like world politics. Don't be mad that you started a fight that you're not winning. You started the fight. When someone comes back and defends themselves, don't act like a little victim because you're not winning the fight. If you guys know what I'm putting down. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, you know what I mean? Okay. Let's keep going. Although obviously uncomfortable for the Lively parties, the truth is not a distraction. The truth has been clearly shown through unedited receipts, documents, and real life footage. More to come, Friedman says. I really wish he did do that. I really wish he did pull a Heather Gay in that moment. Receipts, documents, real life footage like Heather Gay. I mean, wouldn't that be great if he was just pulling out Bravo moments? Blake was the one who brought her high-profile friends into this situation without concern for their own personal or public backlash. Exactly. Brian and I have been consulting each other. He's like, Blake brought this shit on. I didn't. I just got hired to defend my client. She's the one that started the war. As the truth shows, she used her dragons to manipulate Justin at every turn. Friedman also alleged misconduct by Reynolds, claiming Ryan's involvement is very well documented and we continue to discover more intentional misconduct. Was Disney actually complicit in Ryan using shareholder revenues to further a personal grudge? I would be surprised to learn that this type of corporate waste would not lead to much more exposure for those that have been complicit in affecting shareholder revenue. Dun, dun, dun. He's basically saying that Ryan is actually being implicated in a much bigger issue here. It's not just a little bit more. He's actually saying that Ryan has been putting a lot of people's money at stake just by putting out his own anger towards Justin Baldoni in like a, hey, let's make fun of Justin Baldoni. So I'm taking a lot of personal shareholder money from Disney just to kind of like talk shit about this feminist with a man bun. You know what I mean? I love it. I love it. As for the concerns that the courtroom could turn into a media circus, Gottlieb is clear. I don't want that to happen. Gottlieb says, of course you don't. Of course you don't, because you've got to protect this face. Oh, it's hard to look at. We don't expect this case is going to turn into a circus of parading in every celebrity that might have ever had a conversation with Blake Lively or Ryan Reynolds, or in the same way about any famous person who might have ever had a conversation with Justin Baldoni or Steve Sorowitz, he says. By the way, I am sure 1000% that if Justin Baldoni was talking about Blake Lively to a famous person, Mike Gottlieb, Blake Lively's attorney, would 1000% bring that in and bring that up. He's not, because he doesn't want his own clients to be implicated in his own clients' celebrity friends. But if Justin Baldoni was famously talking to a huge celebrity and best friends with a huge celebrity who he knew was conspiring against Blake Lively, he would absolutely subpoena that person. Are you freaking kidding me? He would love it. He would love every second. Gia says, "Khelidu setaram dana, Am Yisrael Chai." I love it. You're the best. Thank you so much, honey. Okay. I love, okay, this is, yes, the purple background is back. I thought you meant my purple hair. I was like, do I have purple hair? Yes, my purple background is back after getting shamed by Zach Peter that one day. I'll never forget. How funny was that one episode with Zach? That was the craziest, most unhinged episode. Okay, so I think this is so crazy. This is literally them saying, like, we would never use Justin Baldoni's celebrities in this case. Don't think that they're not above bringing in maybe a Rainn Wilson in this case, or maybe bringing in, if Justin Baldoni is friends with like Penn Badgley in this case, they would absolutely do that. They would bring in anyone in this case. So just you wait. We don't know who else they're going to bring up that Justin Baldoni maybe has spoken to. Now, in the meantime, this is the best, is that as Brian Friedman does, he decided, he's like, I don't want anyone to miss out on this. And in fact, we should make sure that everyone should see this, because if Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively are doing this, and Blake Lively is really fighting for the world and for the women and saving all the women. I mean, that's what she said at the Time magazine speech and at Seth Meyers, that she's trying to do this for the women. Then let's live stream this shit. Let's go to Madison Square Garden. Let's put it everywhere. He says her testimony should be live streamed at Madison Square Garden. If Blake Lively is really serious, he says to TMZ, about testifying for the world to see, let's live stream it and give the money to DV survivors. His challenge comes in response to Blake's lawyers revealing she absolutely plans to take the stand if the lawsuit actually makes it to trial, and his idea isn't going over so well in Blake's camp. Of course, they're like not very happy about this. This is not a joke. This is very serious. Of course, they're not happy about it, but I'm sorry. I think it's a phenomenal idea. And you guys, I already got my American Express and got pre-show tickets. So I already rented a party bus, and we will be getting a Sprinter van, like Real Housewives style. And we will be driving to SoFi Stadium Monday through Friday in March of 2026 to get front row seats to that trial. So it will be really fun. And don't you worry, we will be on it. Can't wait for it. Now, in other news, I'm so excited to talk to you guys about, especially if you're not that into Karen Read and you have no idea what's going on, just wait. Just wait, because when I tell you, put your cringy pants on. Everyone put your cringy pants on right now. And by that, I mean a diaper. This is really uncomfortable. Number one, I have to do a check-in. How many likes do we have on this video? We need to do a check-in right now. How many likes do we have on this video, and have you subscribed? Very importante. This is even uncomfortable for the PP group. Okay. The PP group, the perineum posse, would even go running away. They would be scared of this exchange. And if the text messages get read in court and we have to hear about tattooing Ryan's perineum out loud, it's going to be just as bad. 225 likes, 239 likes. Okay, you guys are doing well. Let's get to 500 likes, okay? Let's at least get to 500 likes by the end of this live. So at court this morning, we have Officer Bukaki. Okay, his name is not Bukaki, but it should be Shmakaki. This is an officer that you want to investigate not even your enemy. This is an officer that you want to investigate the death of truly only, not even, I mean, no one. The death of a spider. This man, you think you've seen corrupt. You think you've seen bad copping. You think you've seen bad officering. You think you've seen bad investigating. And then you meet the men of Canton. There's bad, there's corrupt, there's maybe a little stupid. And then there is the town of Canton, where they do it all in one. You get an all in one special. You get corrupt. You get stupid. You get inept. You get taking one for the team. You get sexual harassment. You get calling names. You get all. I have never seen anything like it. This is a group of men. I say men because there are women, I'm sure, on the squads and stuff. We have seen women that are first responders that are also doing really, really corrupt things. But I'm talking about the police department in general. These men are not okay because they will die on the sword for each other. They will lie on the stand for each other. They will perjure themselves and they will completely look away from the truth. They will look away from the truth and they will lie about the truth and they will completely avoid doing a real investigation and seeing into what it really means to investigate a true murder, or just even not even a murder, even if it was just an accidental death. When someone dies on the front lawn of whether it's a cop's house or just a civilian's house, when there is a death on someone's front yard, you do not stop at just a, hey, well, someone said, I think I hit him with my car. And then you're like, okay, okay. I think it's time to go home. It's time to go home and get a turkey sandwich. Okay, let's go home. It's donut time, guys. You maybe decide, let's investigate. Where was he? Who was he with? Where was he last seen? Who lives here? Did he go inside? Are there fingerprints? Why is he so bloody? What are those scratches on his arm? Was he in that car? Why are they? What is it? Did anyone see? Who was he? Should we ask them? Why are their stories not matching? What is going on? What happened here is that this man, John O'Keefe, died on the front lawn of a cop's house. And another cop lives across the street. And the cops that were all friends with a cop who died on the lawn of the cop and the other cop's house all decided, oh, a cop died on a cop's lawn. And they all told us that he got hit by a car that was his ex-girlfriend's or his girlfriend's car. And well, we're just going to leave it at that. Shh. The cop just said it's okay. So it's like, let's move on. It doesn't matter that a couple hours later we come back and all of a sudden there's 46 pieces of glass and taillight that wasn't there 3 hours ago. That's wild. That's weird. Well, that's weird that evidence just shows up later. It doesn't matter that things don't add up. It doesn't matter that no one wrote notes, took pictures, took reports, filmed any interviews, separated anyone, actually did their fucking jobs. This is psycho. And everyone keeps harping on the fact, well, Karen was drunk. Guys, I've been drunk too, and I definitely have not murdered a boyfriend of mine. Yes. Was she drunk? Yes. Was she driving drunk? Yes. Was that bad? Yes. Did she emotionally have an affair, which I'm going to show you the text messages, with one of the men, also a cop, who was at that house that night? Yes. Was that bad? And a bad look for Karen? Yes. Does that mean that she killed John O'Keefe? No. And this is why it's very confusing, because everyone wants to say Blake Lively is maybe she's a mean person, and maybe she's a bad person, and maybe she's a bitch, and maybe she's this, but it doesn't mean that she wasn't sexually harassed. And I totally agree with that. There's no reason that I am saying that because Blake Lively is a difficult person, or because Blake Lively is annoying, or entitled or whatever, that she was sexually harassed. There was never a part of me that connected those dots. The only reason that I don't believe that Blake Lively was sexually harassed by Justin Baldoni is because of the evidence that was presented. And if you go back to any of my first takes on this case, because remember, I didn't watch trial 1 of Karen Reed. I only got into it after watching the documentary, the Max documentary, the 5-part documentary, A Body in the Snow. When I watched that first part of this, after the second part of the 5 parts, I texted my friend, Molly, and some of you guys that I DM'd with, and I maybe even talked about it here, and I said, listen to me. I think Karen Reed may have done it. And a bunch of you guys were like, why? I go back and forth. Why? Why do you think she did it? And I said, she's not likable. Because she isn't. Now I kind of get it, but her energy and her vibe and her personality is not super warm. If you've seen her talk in any way, she's not like what you want her to be. She's not sweet and lovely and kind and I'm trying to think if I can find here, I'll show you guys just like a little bit of an interview of her talking. She's not someone that is like that perfect victim energy, you know? So what happens is that we get freaking confused in our heads as viewers. We want the innocent person to be like, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. And I love John so much. And she's not that. She's a tough girl. She knows what she knows. And she doesn't have this like emotional connection to John O'Keefe, the man who has died. Now it's 3 years after the fact that he has been gone. He died in 2022, January 2022. We're already in May 25. They were only together 2 years. So the time he's been gone has eclipsed the time they were together. They also didn't have this perfect relationship. Clearly, there were a lot of ups and downs. It was a kind of a toxic relationship, which we heard from their text messages. In addition to that, I really honestly, I feel this, I get this. If I was dating a man whom I had a very toxic relationship with that was a lot of alcohol involved, and then he died, and because of his death, I was now on trial for his murder for years, I don't know if I would look back at him with love. I think I would be so incredibly angry and just like I wouldn't look back at him and feel like I miss him, I love him. I would be mad. Why did I get involved with this man? Look where I am right now. Look what kind of a nightmare I'm in. That's how I feel. This is a little of Karen Reed for those of you that don't know a lot of the story, just to kind of see her energy and how she talks. This is her with Alan Jackson. This is a couple months ago. This is just an interview from Boston News.
Think about him in terms of his final days, his final weeks. I mean, we have his cell phone, which a cell phone to anyone is like a diary, and it tracks everything you've done. And I've gone over and over his final movements, his heart rate, his injuries, the time that he did everything that day and the days leading up to it. But I've said this to other people. The time that I spent with John, 2 years, it's now been 3 since he's gone, since he was killed. And I'm a year beyond. I've eclipsed the time that I spent with him. And I have very mixed feelings, you know, when I look back on John, because I see a lot of poor decisions that were all precursors to his death and to this nightmare that I'm living. It's
poor decisions by whom?
By both of us. Just drinking, being around the wrong people is chief among them. wrong people for the weeks leading up. They wouldn't have been people I would have chosen on my own.
So you can see that she's just she has like a little bit of a, and that wasn't even like maybe the worst. That was even kind of almost like a more muted version. But the clips that they're showing of her to the jury, the prosecution keeps showing, and the Commonwealth keeps showing these little like mini 10-second clips of her from Dateline interviews, from different documentaries where she just says like these kind of more pointed things, and they're giving her this edit to the jury because the jury doesn't get to see her talk at all. She's not testifying. So they're showing these little clips of her where she's saying like, I don't know, like I was drinking a lot that night and I wonder, did I hit him or whatever. I have grown to like Karen. I have grown to like Karen. I have grown to feel for her. Now, in the text messages that were read today by this Yuri Bacanic, I hope I'm saying his name right. Now, let me tell you a little bit. Let me tell you a little bit about my friend Bacanic. This is a man who is so whipped by Michael Proctor in this department. Michael Proctor was the officer who was the head investigator. He has since been fired. And it's so hard to get fired by this department because clearly all these people are so corrupt and they're not fired. But this is a guy that literally is the most corrupt man ever, Proctor. He texted about Karen, texted to all the guys on the department being like, I'm going through her phone and I'm not seeing any nudes yet. He called, I can't remember who, the R word. He said like, she doesn't have an ass. He was like calling all these, like, he's a horrible, corrupt guy. He's also really connected to the Albert family, who's the family whose house it was at. Like, it's so corrupt, you guys. And this Bacanic is on the stand yesterday, and he's so frustrating to listen to because the defense, Alan Jackson, keeps asking him questions. And he's like, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to see the report. I don't know who did that. And he's like, you don't know who said that? It's in the report. It says who said that. And he's like, well, I'm not sure if I can trust this report. Like, this man is seriously playing games. It's so annoying. But today, this man had to read for 1 solid hour the text messages between Karen Reed and this man, Brian Higgins. Brian Higgins was another officer. He's called an ATF agent. What does that stand for, ATF? I don't remember. And he had to read these messages that Karen Reed had actually initiated. And I'm going to say this. This was a bad look for Karen in the sense that she was actually kind of looking outside of her relationship with John for emotional connection with this man. I will put it that way. She definitely was going outside of her relationship. She was not married to John. She didn't even live with John. And clearly she and John were going through a rough patch. Okay. Oh, alcohol, tobacco, firearms. Thank you. So she started reaching out to this man, Brian Higgins, which, by the way, I'm confused by it because Brian Higgins, this is not a handsome man. I mean, not to me, at least. Okay. Like, really not to me. So I'm confused because she's like, she calls him hot. And I just don't fully understand it. I just don't. Do you guys understand it? Like, let me show you a picture of Brian Higgins. Everyone has their own like thing, but this is Brian Higgins. And maybe he did something for her that she didn't get from John. Maybe it was an attention thing, whatever. Khaleesi says he's a Canton 6. Okay. John O'Keefe to me was a good looking guy, but John O'Keefe clearly was not necessarily the most affectionate. I don't want to say affectionate because I actually don't know if he was physically affectionate, but he clearly, with their text messages that we saw read the other day, he was like, he wasn't so, he wasn't giving her what she wanted. She was like a little insecure. She was asking for more from him and he was like beating around the bush. He wasn't giving her a lot of, I guess, he wasn't assuring her he wasn't like, giving her I can't think of the word. she wanted more assurance that he was there for her. She kept being a little bit nervous. Like, are you cheating on me? What's going on with us? Is there someone else? Da, 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 da. And he wasn't giving her any sort of like good, strong feelings that he was really there. He was not giving it to her. So she was really, I think, struggling with that. And after they went away, security, that's a good word. Thank you. I'm a little struggling with words then. So they were away for New Year's Eve, John and Karen, with the family, with his kids, with his niece and nephew, which are basically his kids. They go away for New Year's Eve to Mexico. And allegedly, John O'Keefe was hammered one night on New Year's Eve, and she can't find him because she's with the kids who are teens, young teens. And then she finds him in the lobby. And allegedly, this is according to Karen, and supposedly Karen's probably drinking too, right? So he's now drinking and like all over some chick. I don't really know how much of this is true or not. And it probably really killed Karen to see this. And ever since New Year's Eve, they get back to Canton and she's feeling this insecurity in their relationship. Cut to a few days into January, she starts texting this Brian Higgins. Now she starts texting and she initiates the text messages with Brian Higgins. But Brian, clearly, he's single. And Karen's, for Canton, I'm sure, really like a hottie. She's like a hottie, right? So he's feeling really good about himself. And they start texting back and forth. And this mechanic idiot cop is reading these text messages. And I am cringing in my stomach. Oh, they went to Aruba, not Mexico. Thank you. I'm cringing. I'm dying. I am falling apart inside listening to these text messages of Higgins trying to like flirt back with Karen. Let's watch a little bit of it together. I'll put it on faster speed because it's too uncomfortable to do it again. Playback speed, I'll do 1.5. I was listening to it all in 1.5 because he reads real slow.
When we were kids, and then his sister died, and everything.
Oh, maybe that's too fast. Hold on. I want it to be over.
Got fucked.
The blue is Higgins, and the white is Karen.
Up. He seemed very into you. I just told Melissa that I had your number, but lost it. That's cute. She wasn't suspicious. No, she's great. Does she know you like me? She's a sweetie. We just agreed that you're great. What does that mean? I was jealous that she had your number. Look, like you're either all in or you're out. Why would you be jealous? I am not attracted to her at all. I have always been attracted to you. Really? Yes. Since the first time I saw you, we would have fun. Where are you? I told you, Canton PD, my office. So are you selling your place and moving to Meadows? Yeah, but where is that? I have had all my shit here for a couple of years, and my house has been vacant, but I'd like to get closer to the water. Are you breaking up or staying together? I don't know. He hooked up with another girl on vacation. I am very close to his niece. It is a very fucked up situation. When was that? And how did you find out he hooked up? I don't want to complicate your situation. We went away for New Year's, the four of us. I put the kids to bed and found him in the lobby of our hotel, all over one of our friends. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It does matter.
Isn't it more awkward that he's reading it?
Did they bang? Does that matter? Sorry, I was just asking. I was just trying to figure shit out. It doesn't really matter. Okay, I won't ask again. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Okay, hear you loud and clear, Karen. Oh, okay. Why are you getting your thing all twisted up over simple questions? Dong. I am not, am I? You're kind of getting defensive. Not at all. What is the question? Do you feel guilty texting me? No. Okay. What do you want from me? Nothing. Do you want anything from me? I would hang out. Oh, gee, thanks. OMG. What am I supposed to say? You're being tough on me. None of us is married. True. So game on? We can say whatever we want.
Oh, he stops to take drinks of water too. It was like the worst hour of my life. So it continues and continues.
Game on? You send mixed messages. I wish I stayed. Okay, game on then. Kinda. Can you hang? Sure. I hope you toss and turn tonight. I always do. Why? Why'd you say that? I just do. Why? Because you're fresh. No, I'm not. Okay. Do you always
They
get
keep
what you...
texting. It goes on and
Oh, God.
on. It goes
I
on
am,
and on.
but I have my work truck with me and not my personal. Do you get angry when you don't get your way? That sounds like an excuse. I rarely get my way. I don't make excuses. I don't make excuses. If I don't want to deal with someone, I tell them. Then I am a ghost. Why do you even want to hang with me? Don't we already hang out? I don't make excuses.
You guys,
Hey,
it goes
lock me in your
on.
room. No, I wouldn't have. Haha, you wish. I don't share a bed with anyone ever. I have my back
It
to
goes
shady.
on and on and on and
Think it was
on
meant to
and
work
on
out that
and
way.
on. And just when you think it's
Yeah.
over, it's still
I usually drink whatever the person with me is
goes
having. Oh, okay.
on.
I don't take selfies either. I don't really even know how. Whatever. I wanted to see your smile. Ugh, I hate having my photo taken. Weak. Sorry. I'm a very particular person. What's that mean? Okay, never mind. Go enjoy your friend. Go clean your house, will you? My shit is spotless. Haha, I figured. My shot is tight. Shit. Sure you can handle this.
You dead?
Please, bite me. Stop saying fresh things. Why? Are those statements tempting? Nope.
Bite me?
Oh,
Is he
which
Bart
statements?
Simpson?
Perhaps you should drive directly to Mansfield. You said bite me like 3 times. Okay. 8:30ish is too late? For what? Drink. No, why? Are we not meeting up? You can stop over for a drink. Balls in your court. Are you going to give me the address? Yeah. We don't have to meet up if you don't want to. But I'm leaving town now. I'm up for a drink. Okay. Should I drive around?
Dead balls in your court. And then it keeps
Should
going
drive
on
around,
until the way end. And
so.
the way end is this. They decide to meet up.
You asked my thoughts. You didn't answer. I don't know my thoughts. Okay, I think I get it. You have any? Thursday, January 20th,
Remember, he
12:27
dies
p.m.
The
Hi.
28th.
How was your
or
day?
The 29th.
Good, yours? I'm exhausted. Yeah, that makes 2 of us. But I want a drink. Really? I'll give you Hardy's digits. Who? Hardy from 98.5 Midday Show. He hangs
This is
out
right
at the
before John
Current
died.
sometime.
20 days before
He's a
John died.
spokesperson for Recovery Center of America. Haha, I don't have a problem. Kidding. I know. Good riddance. Haha, stranger. Hey, I was at Hilly all weekend. Have not heard from you. I apologize. Sunday, January 23rd, 9:40 p.m.
So I want you to see this. He said it was the 10th where they were texting and he goes, haha, stranger. And then he wrote stranger because he wasn't hearing from her. And she goes, hey, I was at Hilly all weekend. And he said, I have not heard from you.
Hey, I was at Hilly all weekend. Have not heard from you.
And then Sunday, January 23rd. So 13 days go by. And then she says, phone works. So now she's totally not talking to him. Remember that. Brian Higgins is really into Karen. It sounds to me like she's kind of into him, but obviously I don't think she really is. I think she was just kind of using him because she needed that like emotional connection. So she says phone works both ways, basically. And he says, thought you were all set because he hadn't heard from her for days, 13 days. And I have a feeling, here's my guess. She stopped talking to him because things were good with her and John. And then at Sunday night, she goes, phone works both ways. Because my guess, I'm just going to say it, I think she was probably in an argument with John. And then she reached back out to him because that's how girls operate that are feeling this way. And she said, phone works both ways. And then he says, thought you were all set. This is almost the end. There's literally 20 more seconds.
I apologize. Sunday, January 23rd, 9:40 p.m. Phone works. Thought you were all set. With talking? No. You sure? Friday, 11.
And then, so that was the 23rd. That was the 23rd. And then an entire week goes by. She didn't respond, or at least we don't see the text messages. This was his phone, so we don't know if they're deleted. We don't see the text messages at all. And then Friday at 11:30, he says, I want that off so we can see. He says, you sure? That's Friday night.
Set.
Sorry. Hold
With
on.
talking? No. You sure? Friday, 11.
Friday, that was the night that John died. He texts, well, and this is when they were still at the waterfall bar together, all of them. She probably wasn't talking to him. He said, well, and she doesn't respond to him as far as we're seeing here. Remember, this is only his side of the street. We're not seeing actual like phone records. We're just seeing what he sent her, or what he sent the like screenshots. And then the next text is
11:32 p.m. Well, Saturday, 11:54 a.m. John died.
and that's the end. John died. He never responds. As far as we know, he never responds. Now, remember that night, this man, Brian Higgins, was at the waterfall. And if you look at the footage, which they're still going over everything, if you look at the footage, Karen Reed meets up with John O'Keefe earlier in the night at the other bar, I forget what it's called, the other bar before they go to the waterfall. And she's just with John O'Keefe and another dude. And they're having so much fun and laughing and everything. And then they go over to the waterfall where Brian Higgins is. She doesn't talk to him. She avoids Brian Higgins. Her back's to Brian Higgins. He's back there, and she's talking to John O'Keefe and some girls. She's chatting with all the girls. She's having a good time with them. And then all of a sudden, that's when he sends those text messages, because he's probably feeling like completely ignored by Karen. Then later he texts John O'Keefe saying, "You coming?" Because he's over at the Albert's house. John O'Keefe goes over there. John O'Keefe dies that night. I think Brian Higgins did it in the library with a candlestick. And Chloe the dog. Did you guys think that that was so incredibly uncomfortable to hear out loud? Think of that for an entire hour. An hour. This case is so good. All right, Lindsay says, just saw that Conan is having Ryan Reynolds on his podcast this weekend. Conan is a Ryan Reynolds simp. Seth Meyers is a Blake Lively simp. I'm so sick of Hollywood. I'm done with these people. Done with them all. Meanwhile, Rachel, how did Donna turn her arm into the Terminator? I'll be back. I'll be back, because someone has to kick Blake Lively in the pee-pee's ass. Wow, you guys, I do work out though. I lift heavy and I eat protein. Okay, let's hear what you guys think. I totally think John and Brian got into a jealous fight, which is why she didn't go inside. Red flag. I think that she didn't want to go inside. I don't think John and Brian got into a fight. As far as we know. I think she didn't want to go inside because I don't think she wanted to see Brian Higgins. I think there was something in that house that made her not want to go in. It will be interesting to see what actually ends up happening, though. I mean, I am so in that case, you guys. I am headfirst, like obsessed. But join Patreon. Let's talk about it this weekend. We will get more into it. I will cover what happens for the rest of trial today, and we will find all of it. Candace wants to know where John died. John O'Keefe was found on the front lawn next to the flagpole. That's the story. However, how he died is the mystery. And they are saying that Karen hit him with her car, but we believe, and by we, I mean anyone that doesn't believe that, believes that he went into the house. Karen dropped him off. He went into the house and was killed inside and then put outside. Question: have I followed the Idaho 4 at all? No, because it feels too dark for me. But a lot of you guys tell me that I should. Anne-Marie says, happy Mother's Day, dosers. You guys, happy Mother's Day. I forget it's Mother's Day. I am going to not have my husband here for Mother's Day, but I will be with my kids, which I guess is all that matters. Happy Mother's Day to all the most amazing mothers out there. It's because of you, mothers, that our next generation will not be psychotic and crazy and you know, insane people. So mothers, we are raising the next generation of good boys and girls. And yes, dog moms too. So thank you so much. I appreciate all of you mothers. And fathers, you'll get your day too. But today's all about the mothers. This weekend's all about the mothers. I love my moms. It's all about the moms here. And by the way, that reminds me, if you guys moms need some extra help for your kids and for tutoring, remember to hit up Educational Resources by Sharon. Her link is below. She and her tutoring services have really helped my kids in these last weeks of school and for summer school for any sort of finals or anything. So Educational Resources by Sharon.com or on her Instagram. So thank you so much, you guys. I really appreciate everyone. And thank you for being here, subscribing and liking the video. And if you are on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify, I really appreciate a 5-star rating and a review. That helps me so much. It always does. And appreciate all of the love that I've gotten this week and every week. I appreciate all of you. I love you. Talk to you soon. Bye.